What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another exclusive interview with PW Mania. My name is Scott Mitchell, and I am joined today by the X Division champion, the youngest X Division champion in TNA history, Leon Slater. How you doing today?
I'm good, boss. Apart from my near-death experience that I've just had, nearly falling off my chair, today's been blessed, man. So I'm excited to chat to you right now.
It's awesome, and you know what? It's an honor to speak with you too. I've been a fan of yours for a while, and I wanted to start from, the biggest moment we saw of your career so far in July at Slammiversary in the UBS Arena. I was thankful enough to be there live. What was that
Oh
like
wow.
winning the X Division Championship and becoming the youngest X Division champion in history?
Insane, man. Like it still honestly doesn't feel real. Like it really is a dream come true. You know what I mean? It's something that I've worked towards since I was 9 years old when I started training. It's been something I've pictured in my mind for even longer than that. You know what I mean? So for something like that of that magnitude to finally be here and be true and be real, is something that's still kind of settling in, I'll be real. But again, like I've said it a bunch of times before, it's definitely something I've not taken lightly. I'm trying to enjoy every moment of this reign. I'm trying to enjoy every moment I have as champion, and I definitely enjoyed every moment of Slammiversary because it was the best day of my life to keep it short and sweet for sure.
100%. And you got to work with Moose, who, in my opinion, doesn't always get the flowers he deserves, but he's been a
100%.
mainstay in TNA now for a long, long time. What was it like working with someone like him as well?
It was super cool, man, because like again, like you said, I think he's one of the people that really don't get the flowers that he deserves. Like Moose has been putting out really consistent work for nearly a decade now in TNA. So he is like a real legend, man, and he's one of the longest reigning X Division champions of all time. So for me to kind of get my moment against him, I think only made it that more special. And not only because of his legacy and his lineage and who he is, but also because of what he is. Like he is an absolute freak, man. Like he's 6'5", 250, 260, can do everything I can do, can throw me halfway across the arena, you know what I'm saying? So the concept of Moose had me really excited going into Slammiversary. And I'm glad we got to make that match as special as it was.
1000%. And, it was a fantastic match. It was awesome getting to see your crowning achievement live. And I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up what happened after the match with AJ Styles making his return. The pop was insane. The moment was insane. What was that like for you?
It was wild, man, and it's cool that you mentioned the pop because, like, I remember when his music hit, and like genuinely, I had no clue like he was coming out. I'm sure you can see, like, I'm jumping around and stuff, like I'm sprinting around the ring like a toddler, bro. Um, but when his music hit, like, I wanted to sing along. Like when I'd kind of got over that initial adrenaline spike of, oh my God, it's AJ Styles coming out to the ring. Um, I was waiting for like the you are, I am. And I missed the first like loop of the chorus because the pop like drowned his music out, man. Like, so not only to be in the building for that, but to kind of be in the middle of that where all the noise is like showering in or like bouncing off of the roof and coming back at me was insane, man. And it's an atmosphere like I've never experienced before. And I think it's going to be pretty hard to top that atmosphere. Although I'm gonna try my best to do it. But for AJ to spend his time on his first time in TNA in 10 plus years with me and sing my praises when he could have just come out and said, hey, it's good to be back, missed you all, okay, I'm back off the WWE now, and nobody would have complained because it would have been wicked to see AJ Styles in a TNA ring. The fact that he chose to spend that to kind of put me over and sing my praises is something I'm gonna be forever grateful for. And again, it's one of these moments that I think is gonna live forever, which has always been my goal in TNA.
Yeah, and you kind of touched upon it, like, how grateful you are that that was what he did with his short time returning. Uh, but how important was that to you to get that praise from AJ Styles, someone who I will go on record on saying has kind of made the X division where it is today in a way?
1000%. Like yeah, you could even say that he made TNA what it is today. You know what I mean? Like in the early days of TNA, he put it on his back. Like full stop. And I feel like if you ask anyone what their TNA Mount Rushmore is, the first name on there is AJ Styles, without a doubt. You know what I mean? So to have Mr. TNA pretty much come out and sing my praises and give me the salute and almost have that passing of the torch moment. Even though I don't think we're quite there with the passing of the torch, I feel like there's only really one way to pass the torch in wrestling that hasn't happened yet between me and AJ, which maybe we'll get onto a bit later. But Um, yeah, man, it's a huge moment for me. Like I said, I'm super grateful, and it means the world that not only Mr. TNA but the first X Division champion um came out to sing my praises in front of everyone in UBS when I became the youngest champion of all time.
And I don't want to. I love the world of professional wrestling because there is a lot of speculation, like dream matches in a way. You versus AJ Styles would probably be the greatest passing of a torch moment I could think of in TNA.
Right?
What would that match be like for you if it happened? If it
Um,
happened?
that's a super difficult question, man, because I don't think I can. I like to think I've almost a gift of like manifesting things and seeing things and visualizing them before they happen. But that's one that I really struggle with, man. Like I have no clue what that would look like because obviously I don't think AJ would be scared to admit, and I've seen him be open and honest about it before, but like he has more of his career behind him than he does in front. And I'm on the flip side of that where I have a lot more in front of me than I do behind, right? So it's almost this story of the the young dog versus the grizzled old dog, right? Like the young dog's a little bit quicker, he's a little bit faster, he's a little bit more agile, but the old dog knows every trick in the book and he's got that little bit more beef behind him and he's got that little bit more power, you know what I mean? So if that match did happen, I think it'd be no pun intended, a really good clash of styles and a generational clash, man. And again, like I really do think it'd be something that'd live forever because I know that I would, and I would expect that he would, as he's done throughout his career, do everything we can to make that a special, special match.
100%. And there's a legendary match with Styles would be amazing. But you've had a bunch of legendary matches in TNA already, I'd say so far. And the crazy part is you're still just getting underway, which is so mind-boggling to me. But I'd be remiss if I didn't ask about, your work with the Hardy Boys, because I know how much, you idolized them growing up. You have gone
Mhm.
on record of saying, like, oh my God, this is awesome. But what has it been like for you to work alongside Matt and Jeff? And did you get any advice from them about like anything that, whether it be in the ring or outside the ring?
Absolutely, man. So like again, it's been an absolute dream come true to work with Matt and Jeff over this past or like almost 9 months now, which is crazy to say. I honestly think it was something that was meant to be a one-time thing, you know what I mean? Or maybe like a couple time things just to see if I can kind of hang on that level and make my own mark. And you know, we really hit it off, and I think it's very obviously clear the influences I take from Matt and Jeff both within what I do, even when I'm on my own, when I'm not with them. But I feel like we just clicked as a unit, man, which is again crazy to say because not only is there not many people that get to work with their heroes or team with their heroes, but especially no one from Bradford, England, at 20 years old gets to say that, you know what I mean? So it really is, again, an opportunity that I'm super grateful for and I don't take lightly. And as far as like what they've taught me a world of information, man. Like, and not only just stuff they've said to me, but just being able to be around them and spend time with them and see how they operate backstage, see how they treat everyone, see how they operate themselves in the ring, out of the ring, on promos, in matches, you know what I'm saying? Has been um really a VIP seat because how many people can say that they've had a passenger seat to the Hardy train, you know what I mean? Like a front row passenger seat. But honestly, if there's one thing that has stuck out to me that they've always preached from kind of day one is the importance of being presentable as a fighter, you know what I'm saying? And it's something I've tried to work on, it's something I'm still working on. But they made a real big point to me that the high flying moves only last so long, right? They are the epitome of high flyers, that extreme style, that risk taking style. So if there's anyone that knows about what they're talking about, it's going to be these two, right? And they said to me, "You like, you only have so many Swanton 450s in the tank. There's going to be a day where you can't do that anymore." So you need to try and figure out a way to legitimize yourself without all of that. You know what I mean? And it's like I said, it's something I'm working on every single day. I'm in the gym. I'm trying to get bigger. I'm in the ring a couple times a week. I'm trying to get more aggressive, trying to get my technique better, and really hone in all these areas of my craft. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
um, again, there's been a world of information. But if there was one thing that that's really stuck out that I'm actively trying to work on, it's definitely that.
100%. And it's awesome to see. them helping out as well because I was a fan of theirs. I actually got into wrestling because of them, and
Hmm.
it's awesome to see the legends kind of giving back to the younger generation of the people who are going to be leading professional wrestling into tomorrow. So it's awesome to see that for sure. So I also did want to ask about, you're in TNA, and I would say one of the most exciting eras in company's history. You have the
Yeah.
WWE TNA partnership. You have an amazing TNA locker room, whether it be the men's division, the knockouts division, the tag team division, the knockouts tag team division. We could go on and on.
Hmm.
But how awesome is it to you to just be a part of this generation, this era of TNA, if you will?
Honestly, it's wild, man, because when I first signed my deal, TNA wasn't even back yet. You know what I mean? Like my deal that I signed in 2023 was an Impact Wrestling deal. You know what I mean? Which was already super cool to be a part of a company that has a lineage longer than I've been alive. You know what I mean? That's already super cool. And then I feel like it's just been this kind of spiral of events for myself and for the company. And we've just kept going up and up and up and up and up. Like it was Impact Wrestling when I signed. Then we did the UK tour. Then TNA came back. Um, then Nick Nemeth debuted. Then Matt Hardy debuted. Then Jeff Hardy came back, and Santana's come back. And then we got the partnership with NXT, and then Slammiversary broken records. We're breaking records everywhere we go. Attendance, streamed, everything is just on the up right now in TNA. And like you said, it's a super special time not only to be a fan, but even more so to be a member of this roster. And I think probably the most special part about it for me is that we are a team, man. You know what I mean? Like, again, it's very well-known information that the TNA squad and the TNA team isn't as big as the other major companies in the US or even in Japan. You know what I mean? We don't have the same manpower that a WWE do or a Pro Wrestling Noah do. You know what I mean? But what that means is we have to come together as a tight-knit unit and push this thing to make it work. And for me, that's been the most enjoyable part about being at TNA is the camaraderie and the friendship and the brotherhood. Like I've made friends and met people and found mentors at TNA that are going to be with me for the rest of my life, you know. So not only like you said, is it an incredible time to be watching the company on this upwards momentum that we're building, it's even more special to be a part of it, man.
And it's awesome I can even ask this question because we're in such a cool period of professional wrestling right now. But what would be your ideal crossover storyline? Like, is there somebody in NXT that you'd really want to work with? I've seen the rumors about you versus Javon Evans. That'd be amazing. But two young goats, the youngest in charge, a young goat going at it would be awesome. But in your opinion, what would be like your perfect crossover storyline, if you will?
So as far as a match goes, I feel like you pretty much hit the nail on the head with Javon. Obviously, there's a couple other people I'd love to mix it up with. Wesley's one. I'd always love to step in there with Ricky Sainz, Ethan Page, Obafemi. Me and Trick have never had a one-on-one, so all of those matches would be incredible, I think. But as far as the storyline goes, I think that's a lot more interesting question. And I can honestly say like my ideal storyline would be like almost and again, this happened before I was alive, so I don't know all the nitty gritty of the details, right? But the invasion storyline is kind of how I picture this culminating. You know what I mean? Like, there's been all this word of who's got the better wrestlers, who's got the better this, who's got the better that. But I think there's only one way to see who is the better brand. You know what I mean? So we take a team of 4 or 5 TNA All Stars, we put them against 4 or 5 NXT All Stars, and we see who is the better brand, man. And I think for me, that'd be an incredible storyline. And if that does happen one day, I'd be super happy and I'd be super eager to be a part of that TNA squad and represent my company, you know?
Yeah, and is there anyone you really want to defend that X Division title against that you may not have had the chance to yet?
For sure, man. And again, like you said, in 2025, there's literally endless possibilities. So whether it's a Myron Reed or a Jason Hotch one-on-one that I haven't had the chance to have yet for the X Division belt, or a Zachary Wentz or a Trey Miguel when he's back, or a Casey Navarro when he's back, or even someone not so typical in like a Jake something or a Steve Macklin. We've got so many people on our roster that I'd love to mix it up with that I haven't had the chance to yet. You know what I mean? But it being in 2025, those possibilities are even more endless. So all those names I just said for NXT, throw them boys in the hat, you know what I mean? And again, like NXT and WWE have that relationship with Pro Wrestling Noah, where we've seen Inamura-san come over to NXT, and we've seen Tavion Heights go over to Noah. So if anyone from that side as well wants to come over and get some, they can come and get some too, for sure.
100%. And if anyone does want to check out and jump on board of this amazing TNA ship, this amazing TNA era, this amazing TNA, like just everything that's doing right now, if anyone wants to get on board, they could always check it out on TNA Plus. They can use their
Absolutely, yeah.
code Leon YIC, youngest in
Yes, sir.
charge, all caps. Why should someone sign up for TNA Plus though and get a free month in the UK and Ireland as well if they use your code?
To be quite honest, man, if you don't, you're playing stupid. I can't lie. Like number one, I've never met anyone that doesn't like free stuff. So for my UK and Ireland gang, like if you like free stuff and you like professional wrestling, why not, right? And for my US gang, you'd be missing out on a whole lot, man. Like you said, TNA is in a crazy upswing right now, and we've got a lot of momentum behind us, and there's a reason for that, man. And I think a lot of our quality and a lot of our best moments are still going under the radar just because people haven't taken that chance yet, right? So I urge you to take that chance, not only for the product that we're putting out right now, but to look back on a library and a lineage of some of the best professional wrestling to ever grace planet Earth. You know what I'm saying? Everything from 2002 to 2025 through to 2095 is going to be on TNA Plus. So it really is your one-stop shop for some of the best professional wrestling that's happening right now and to ever happen on this planet.
And the final question I did want to ask you, because I know we're running out of time here, is just what is one thing about Leon Slater that fans might not know, but they might love, they might pop if they found out? Like, what is one thing about you that, some people might not be able to guess by looking at you?
That's crazy, bro. That's a real good question. Something that people might not expect. See, I don't know what people would expect of me. Um, but I guess if there was one thing that I would assume people wouldn't guess is that I'm a big fan of horror movies. I feel like
Oh,
a lot of people that are from where I'm from or look like me are not a big fan of horror movies, but I am a huge horror movie guy. Like anything A24, most Blumhouse stuff, I'm a big fan. Anything like retro, like we were talking about Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm a big horror movie guy, so we're actually in a really good season of horror movies right now. Obviously Weapons just came out. I'm going to see Together at some point. Bring Her Back was a killer movie. So yeah, that's kind of my little hobby. I don't know magic too. I know card tricks. I don't think people would expect that. So I've been working on my magic. I'm still perfecting it, but yeah, that's a couple of things that I don't think people would expect about me for sure.
that's awesome. And I thank you so much for your time, Leon. It was a pleasure to work with you. You have such a bright future, and I'm looking forward to seeing everything you accomplish next.
I appreciate you, Scott. Thank you for the time, brother. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.